Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another Saturday night. Welcome to another version of the Wrestlemaniacs. It's the big guy KG sitting in with my cohort, the cigar smoking, bourbon drinking, world champion extraordinaire. Because I can't leave that part out, because if I do, I'll be a hater. So after picks last week, he is your reigning, defending, undisputed PLE pay-per-view 24/7, 7-Eleven, I-95, 695, 295, 395, DMV champion of the world, the Nubian Sumo.
And to a nicer guy, it couldn't happen.
I ain't got nothing to say, man.
Keep telling these boys they ain't ready. You see, we missed one, right? Because he's a hater.
Yes, we are.
He only wants to disappear now whenever I defend my title. He don't want to be there. He don't want to be there to help celebrate his champion.
This is usually a 3-man booth. It is a 2-man booth tonight. So welcome to the Saturday Night Wrestlemaniacs 2-man power trip. The People's Choice Don Rodriguez is a little under the weather today, so he needs an onion sandwich and some things to get himself back together. But until
he needs
then,
an enema
we will hold it
and Jesus. That's what he needs, an enema and Jesus.
Oh. Now, if this is your first time here, we get a little rowdy. That's why it's called the Saturday Night Wrestlemaniacs-Unhinged. There is no restrictions. We don't have. See, normally on TV, we got to be buttoned up and seduced. Ain't none of that here. It's all lowbrow, baby. We getting it in.
We have to be demure.
I hate that.
We have to be We have to be mindful.
I absolutely hate that.
I want to say spell demure.
They can't. But
you ain't never heard the word until like a few weeks ago.
The lady that started it, I'm glad she getting her bread for it. Now she did it, and it's beautiful. Everybody making stuff off of it, but that's her thing. But it's being ran into the ground. That's hers, man. If you paying her every time you saying it, keep saying it so she can get her money. But other than that, shut up. Like, I'm tired. Oh, my kid, very demure, very mindful. Shut up.
Right.
You running it into the ground.
Main people that are using it, the main women that are using it, there's nothing demure about them. Thing. Even in the way that they dress in when they say it, there's nothing demure about you the way that you're dressing while you're saying it. So for you to come out of your mouth with that crap, I mean, it's bad enough. You know, I commend you for trying to learn a new word, okay? But at least learn the word and get it right.
Over on IG, the Midnight Rider said, "I'll be your Huckleberry." Is let me know if that's an invite, because if you getting in this thing and that's an invite, we can ready to go off the chain. That's all I'm gonna say. Sam checking in. Good to see you, Sam. Demures ran into the ground like that $1 Million Baby song. God, say it again. Say it again. No. It's a song this dude made. It's everybody putting it on their daggone TikTok. And it's just like, young, stop it. Now.
Yeah, but hey, I gotta give my man his props though. What's his name? I can't think of his name. Look up the song Fried Rice. Have you heard that song?
No, I have not.
You got to check this song out, man. I love that. This is out of all the TikTok songs I've heard used, this one is the one I like. I don't know why. It tickles me every time I hear it.
See, now I'm gonna have to go.
It's like it starts. I want to say his name. I want to say his name to get his name right. I want to give him his credit because that song. What's his name? You see his name?
No, I can't find it. I'm gonna have to look it up on TikTok.
It's a play on words. It's
Is it Lucid?
Lucid, yes, Lucid. Yeah, that's it. Lucid. Yeah, man. And they even got the videos with the people dancing to it. I mean, they got dances for it, the whole thing, man. Oh my God. You gotta listen to that song, man. So Lucid Fried Rice by Lucid. Lewcid. 2 words.
I'm gonna tell you what since we talking TikToks and stuff like that, I'm gonna tell you what sound on TikTok got me in a chokehold. And it's going all across the country. And I love it because being a DC dude, seeing go-go spread across the country is good for me. That backyard joint. Some of you niggas ain't real. Yeah, that right there. That's got me in a chokehold right now. I didn't use that about 4 or 5 times my dance.
I haven't heard that one. I'm still stuck on Backyard's version of Steel Ray.
Man.
Steel Ray from Raphael Sadiq.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did.
Somebody put that out and was like, which one do you prefer? You prefer Raphael Sadiq or Backyard? And everybody in the comments like Backyard, man. There's nothing against Raphael Sadiq, but we was introduced to the song by Backyard.
Right. I mean, and there was actually a TikTok. There was a girl who's like, which one do you like more, the Raphael Sadiq version or the Backyard version? I'm like, shit, I like the Backyard version better. Raphael Sadiq does a great job with his own song, but I mean, it's just, and it's the argument that everybody has against go-go music. Listen to the way they singing. They don't know how to sing, and it sounds like they're using pots and pans, and when they play that music, and it's not professional. It's not clean. It doesn't sound good. It's not supposed to. It's its own sound. It is what it is. I mean, all of you out here listening to this, mumble rap and this garbage hip hop or whatever you want to call it, but then you gonna talk junk about go-go music?
Yeah.
That's why I be wanting to kick Don in his throat every time he talks about go-go music versus house music. Baltimore house music isn't even original. They got it from Chicago.
They did.
They can't even claim it as their own.
Now, Sam says, use it in a sentence. And that belt Sumo is keeping hostage will be demurred one day. I'll get my belt.
That belt will never be demurred. That's my hope.
And he also said, I call Stomp the Yard to watch you guys. Hey, did you really call Stomp the Yard to watch us? I'm on it. I'm on it. And it's going to be a good one.
I think we can do a better job than Stomp the Yard. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes. Yes, most definitely.
Way better. Isn't that Nick Cannon?
No, I don't need. Stomp the Yard wasn't something that my sister used to watch that all the time. Anything Nick Cannon touches, I think I could do better. Well, Drumline was pretty daggone good. I ain't gonna lie.
Drumline was stolen.
Seriously.
Yes, Drumline. You didn't hear about that?
Oh,
There was a lawsuit.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. The script for Drumline was stolen. It was actually a script that was presented to Nick Cannon by the guy who wrote it, and Nick Cannon stole it, rewrote it. I mean, but it's the same. It's the same situation. It's the same storyline. Nick Cannon actually got sued for that, for making that movie.
Wow.
This was years ago.
And we are joined, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Sesame Street, the Midnight Rider.
What's going on, fellas?
So, since we promised to make
What's
this a good
up, man?
one, we promised to make it a good one.
So I heard somebody's
ain't nothing much,
reigning,
you know, just cut them.
Defending Picks champion. Is that what I heard?
Oh yeah. No. What you heard was that I am still.
I'll say it better for you. Hold on.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah, clean it up.
My name is the Midnight Rider, and for you, this is the reigning, the undisputed, returning, defending, undefeated champion of Picks, the Nubian Sumo.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go. Oh yeah, there you go.
We done, man.
Put some weight on it. Say it. Put some weight on it. Say it with your chest.
Yeah, I was just trying to be respectful, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say. All right, hold. I got you, KG. For the guy that came in second place.
I didn't even come in second place. Stop playing with me.
Oh, my bad.
So now you about to get yourself banned for the night. You really want this to happen? This is how you want to finish your Saturday night? This is what you want to do to me?
I'm just saying. I'm just here. You know, I'm just a casual observer. You know.
Moving right along. Let's get into how the Nubian Sumo was able to keep the championship that belongs to me, but I'm only loaning him just for a little bit.
You ain't loaning me shit.
All in.
How does that work? Like,
since we talking memes and whatnot, Abu shit. Abu shit.
Nah. You know what it is? That belt is KG's only in the summers. Like, it's like that little kid that comes to his grandmother's house on the summertime, and he claim he from like Southeast. That's how it works.
Wow.
Nah, that ain't even it. That ain't even it. I am a disgruntled mother that is taking his child, and I'm not giving him any parental rights until I give my child support.
I know that's right.
Let's find out how the Nubian Sumo was able to keep his title. We did picks last week. We did a pick show, and when we do a pick show, we go down the card, which this one was AEW's All In. So for AEW All In, we started from the beginning, and we worked our way down. So let's start it up with this one. The final countdown title. Korea versus Korea match for the AEW World Championship. Swerve Strickland, who's a champion, versus the Bryan Danielson. Across the board, we all picked Swerve. We all won that one. So give us all one.
No, we lost that one.
We lost? Yeah. Oh, Bryan Danielson did win. I'm sorry.
Bryan Danielson won, so we lost that one.
I'm sorry. Bryan Danielson did win. I am so sorry. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hold on.
I'm looking at the wrong thing. While you're looking up stuff, Sumo.
Sure.
Danielson winning this title, what does that mean for his career? Because I know every outlet has had him number one in terms of wrestler or the best wrestler?
As far as his career is concerned, he's going to go into Flair mode. He's going to when Flair had the Intercontinental Championship right before he had his retirement match with Shawn Michaels. He said that the next time he lost a match, he would retire.
Right.
So, I mean, he's already on a handshake deal.
Okay.
So, I mean, he's not signed with the company at all.
Okay.
So, as soon as he loses that title, or whatever they decide to have him lose a match, because Flair didn't even lose the title in a loss. He lost in a three-way. He lost in a triple threat match, and he didn't get pinned.
He didn't get pinned. Okay.
Right. So
what is and this is for both of you guys, because I'm just asking questions. What is the Bryan Danielson legacy? I mean, he's had the Yes Movement. He's got what he's done in AEW. Like, where does he stand in the lexicon of great wrestlers?
As far as his legacy is concerned, I mean, he's up there. I mean, he's won every title in Ring of Honor. He was the face of Ring of Honor in his beginning stages. He wound up going to he's traveled the world wrestling, winning titles all over the world. He went to WWE and pretty much came from the bottom because they treated him like he didn't exist at all prior to the WWE. Mm-hmm. You know, the thing with him and The Miz, the thing with him and Michael Cole, the thing with him and the Authority. You know, he had to build his way up into becoming Daniel Bryan, and then for him to leave and go back into the independents and build up his career outside of WWE again within AEW. I mean, he has said this himself. The only regret he would have in his career is not being part of the G1 Climax in New Japan.
All right, so
I mean, he's been in the best of the Super Juniors. He's been in the J Cup, and he's been in a lot of different. He's been in the PWG's Battle of Los Angeles. He's been in a lot of different tournaments that have helped build his legacy. But for him to never be in the G1, that's like the notch missing on his career.
All right. So one other question, and I'll let you guys get back into the WrestleManiac-ness of which I do. But I know Cody Rhodes, when he left WWE, he set out like he had this list. Do you think Bryan Danielson had a list similar, and he like notched off the people on his list to get to this point?
Oh yeah, definitely. Zack Sabre Jr. was one of them. The Mexican wrestlers that he's been wrestling, Hechicero and Blue Panther, those were some on his list. The only thing he didn't make his list public, okay. But he had a list of people that he wanted to deal with, and he's still working with those people. The only one that I want to see at this point, before he lets it all go, is him and Nigel McGuinness. Nigel McGuinness should be his very last match. They should have a match where it's a double retirement match. They both go out together, and as they should, because when they were both in Ring of Honor and they were both going after the Pure Championships and the Ring of Honor World titles, you know, the classic matches. They pretty much together helped put Ring of Honor on the map. So for them to go out together, which should have happened last year at All In London, but Daniel Bryan wound up getting hurt. And now that you have Nigel McGuinness, who's in ring shape and is back in the ring now as of this past All In, which we'll talk about in a minute, that match can now happen, and it should happen. And I'm waiting for it to happen.
Okay. KG, go ahead. I'm sorry. I got another question, but I'm going to wait because I think you guys are going to get to where my question is going to be in a couple of minutes. KG?
I don't know. He might have went to go warm up his hot pocket.
Okay. So I'll ask you this. Legacy-wise, McGuinness, Zack Sabre Jr., Bryan Danielson, Cody Rhodes, like who kind of fulfilled their legacy the best out of those guys?
Well, that's hard to say because everybody's path is different.
Right.
You know, to say that one fulfilled his legacy, so to speak, better than the other one, it's just the path that they took.
Let me ask it differently. Like, who do you think had the better path? Like, who got the better opponents on their route to fulfilling whatever their destiny is? Maybe that's a better way to ask that question. Between
Nigel, Bryan
Danielson. Yeah, because I think the inevitable is those two facing off.
Well, it would have to be Bryan Danielson because he's had the longer career. He's able to do a lot more. I mean, it was hepatitis C that took out Nigel McGuinness out.
Okay.
And he was on an upward trajectory. I mean, he was in the WWE, but he wound up getting this hepatitis C, and he wound up having to come out of wrestling.
Okay.
So just him being now, because of the road that Bryan Danielson has taken, I would say between the two, he had the more fulfilled career legacy, whereas Nigel McGuinness got his cut short. And it's just the fact that he's now able to go out on his own terms rather than his career being taken from him the way it was.
All right. So on the card tonight for All In, what was a match that kind of stood out for you? I know it was a bunch of great matches, but did something stand out on what you were watching today?
Well, the whole show was a great show. I mean, as far as the standouts were concerned, of course, the Swerve and Daniel Bryan match was good. The Will Ospreay MJF match was great. I enjoyed that one.
You know what? That's what I was trying to get you to get to. So talk to me about that match because I didn't see it, but I feel like those are the best two workers right now in the business in terms of young guys trying to take over the business. Like, give me some background, give me some information on that whole collision course because it was destined to happen.
Oh yeah, I mean, MJF is probably considered within the wrestling world as far as actual wrestlers, one of the best in wrestling right now. I mean,
yes, indeed.
He's as we've stated on this show prior. I mean, he's an attraction. He's on Andre the Giant attraction status at this point, to where the man only wrestled 7 times last year. 7 times, and he's still relevant. I mean, how for you to be able to to just be able to keep yourself relevant on the mic and not have to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to do. It's very rare that happens, and MJF has been able to pull that off. Will Ospreay? I mean, as far as this generation is concerned, he's got to be the best, if not the best of this generation because of his athletic prowess, his mic skills, his just the way he's able to draw in people. You know, I mean, I would consider him almost Dusty Rhodes like as far as this generation is concerned, because I mean, he's just got that charisma to draw you in.
I'm gonna ask you, if you don't mind, a different question. And you can tell me if you don't have a follow on this, but Ricochet. So Ricochet has into AEW. Do you have any thoughts on his impact, his arrival? And you can keep it as simple as you want. Is this a good place for Ricochet? And do you see him succeeding at AEW? Because AEW likes to, in my mind, they are the in Vegas they have the sharps, and in wrestling you got the marks. And I think AEW plays to the marks more than anybody else. So what is your thoughts on, I guess, the Ricochet arrival and the way they're going to use Ricochet?
I think it was between here and New Japan.
Okay.
AEW, and with him being with AEW and the relationship that AEW has with New Japan, it works out either way.
Okay.
So, and Ricochet has a lot of work that he can do as far as who he can work with. Like you're probably gonna see Ricochet and Bryan Danielson before he leaves.
Right.
You are definitely going to see Ricochet and Swerve Strickland because they have a history together in Lucha Underground. Prince versus Killshot, for those that are familiar. You have him and Will Ospreay, who traveled through the independents with acrobatic classics, before Ricochet wound up going to WWE. I mean, you got both of them flying around the ring together and whatnot. I mean, the way they do. I mean, you have a lot of young wrestlers who are trying to emulate that style of wrestling based off of the 3-4 matches that they had before Ricochet went to WWE. So, I mean, it's a lot of, and then on top of that, you got all these luchadors. You got the commanders and the holograms and the Beast Mortos that are in there right now that could do good work. Ricochet can pretty much work with anybody. No, so I'm looking forward to him and Orange Cassidy.
See, I would look for him in like a Darby Allin type of thing. I think that would be a good situation for them to have because of their athleticism.
There are too
back and forth.
There are too many people in AEW that he matches well with. And now does that say more so for AEW or does that say more for Ricochet? Because Ricochet can pretty much work with anybody.
I think it says more for Ricochet because he's a talent. I think the only problem is WWE never understood using talent in certain ways. And I think the fact that AEW has this what's the word I want to use? Like they have this dream card mentality. That makes it easy for them to put some of these matches together that everybody else wouldn't do on a normal basis. If that makes sense.
Right. No, you're right. And you were about to bring up Penta. You know, Penta and Ray Phoenix are about to go to WWE.
Okay.
So they're about to leave. But that's another matchup. Those two matchups, you know, having him tag with Will Ospreay at some point.
Exactly. Or
having him and Will Ospreay going after the tag titles, because I mean, you know, it's inevitable at some point that he tags up with somebody and tries to get with the tag titles, or him and Top Flight going after the trios titles.
Yeah.
You know, him and hell, maybe he becomes like we've discussed in the past. Maybe he becomes part of the Hurt Syndicate.
What's up, big guy?
Can you gentlemen hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, let's run through this because I'm having a little difficulty here and I don't know what it is. So let's run through this real quick. The next match was the coffin match. Jack Perry versus Darby Allin. In the People's Choice Don Rodriguez. So Jack Perry was the pick for the People's Choice Don Rodriguez. And myself and the Nubian Sumo picked Darby Allin. Next up was the TBS Championship, Britt Baker versus Mercedes Moné. We all picked Mercedes, so we all took the dub on that one, going across the board. Next up, the AEW American Championship, Will Ospreay versus MJF. The Nubian Sumo was the only one that won that one, and he picked Will Ospreay, while I and the People's Choice Don Rodriguez picked MJF. The next, we didn't pick the Casino Gauntlet match. We didn't pick that one. The three-way dance for the AEW World Championship. Did we pick? We did not pick that one either. Did we? Yes, we did.
Yeah, because we all picked different ones.
Yes, we did. And
I wound up winning that one too.
I think. Yes, you did. You picked the Young Bucks. I picked FTR, and the People's Choice Don Rodriguez picked the Acclaim. The FTW Championship, Hook versus Chris Jericho. We all picked Hook across the board, so we all took a round on that one. Next up was the AEW Women's World Championship, Timeless, Toni Storm versus Mariah May. Damn, we didn't pick that match. No, we didn't.
No, we did. I don't know why we didn't, but we.
Mariah May took the title from Toni Storm. She moved on. We didn't pick the London Ladder match for the Trios World Championship. Didn't pick that. And was in the pre-show, Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii versus Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. We picked Statlander all the way across the board, and we all lost. So, if we did the numbers on this, the People's Choice Don Rodriguez, 1, 2, 3, 4, is 4-4 out of 8 matches. The Nubian Sumo, 4-4 out of 8 matches. Myself, 2-6 out of 8 matches. So I came in last place, and by way of tie, the Nubian Sumo retains said title to continue being your picks champion. So I don't know if this question was asked while I was away, but
for full disclosure, there was a discussion about a tiebreaker. Okay. I said no, not because I would retain, but because we have had picks in the past where there have been ties and the champion retained. But all of a sudden, one of us, who I won't mention, was very adamant in the fact that he wanted to have a tiebreaker.
KG. No.
I
I always ask, is it's gonna be one? And I never get, because now here's the thing. When we first started doing pick shows, the tiebreaker was always a game that was picked on Sunday during football season. So we had a pay-per-view in September, October. The tiebreaker was, the pay-per-view was Saturday night. The tiebreaker was whatever game we picked on Sunday. And I normally won the tiebreaker, so I won the championship. But the People's Choice Don Rodriguez didn't like me winning my championships like that. So we took out the tiebreaker system.
Now, Mr. Rodriguez thinks that it would lessen the picks competition by not having a tiebreaker. But my thing is this. If I go a Broadway, which for those that may not know what a Broadway is, it's a wrestling term for going the distance, going the time limit distance, going to a draw. If I do a Broadway and it goes to the time limit, I win. If it's a double disqualification, I win. If it's a double count out, I win. It's champion's advantage. So why would I have a tiebreaker? Why would there be a tiebreaker? That's one of the reasons why I think he's not here, because he's just butthurt at the fact that we ain't gonna have a tiebreaker and he ain't got a chance to get my belt. But as I keep saying, I gave him the opportunity to come at me one-on-one, and he chose not to because he wanted to tie with KG when he got that opportunity. There wasn't a tiebreaker then. He didn't ask for a tiebreaker then. He wanted the advantage of having KG involved so that they could double team me and try to get the title off of me. And it didn't work. So why have a tiebreaker now? I'll take anybody's thoughts.
Sam said Broadway, Figueroa Street.
Whatever that means. That was an inside joke of his own.
I don't have any ways about it because I wasn't in contention, so I don't have any ways about it. And I gotta respect what's been going on. I gotta expect the championship. I'm good. That's all I'm gonna say is I'm good.
So for the record, any talk about a tiebreaker is when it comes to my championship is out of the window. Even if I don't have the championship, I wouldn't, even if I would contend, if I didn't have a title and I were contending for it, I wouldn't want a title. I wouldn't want a tiebreaker. I wouldn't want to win it that way. 5 extra minutes for what? If I couldn't beat you in 60 minutes, I couldn't beat you.
Well, hold on. Didn't Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels do a 60-minute Iron Man match and had to go more than 60 minutes?
Yeah, they did it. They chose to do that. Right. Sure. Why not? If that's what they wanted to do. That's not me.
I get it. I'm not knocking it.
I gave y'all 2 pay-per-views to come at me one-on-one, and you didn't want to do it.
Sam say, "Rest in peace, Psycho Sid." Yes, indeed.
Yes, exactly. Yes, we definitely going to get to that in a moment. But yeah, why would I want to do that? I'm not going to do it as champion. I'm not going to do it as contender.
I'm not even gonna go there. I'm gonna leave it alone. Moving on. The pay-per-view that took place today was Bash in Berlin, and that came on super early. So, uh oh.
You good?
Just Sumo got the win, Sam. It's no nothing about that. Sumo got the win. He got it. He got the W.
Oh yeah, I got the W. I got the belt, and I'm in a new match is in the works right now. I have a plan for the next my next title defense. I have to bring it to the boys first. I can't discuss it right now.
It's okay.
But yeah.
Run down the card at Bash in Berlin. We got new women's tag team champions. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill get their belts back, defeating the Unholy Union. Sumo, what's your thoughts on that match? And Midnight Rider, did you watch the premium live event?
Nah, I was watching college football. Okay. But I saw all the information on online.
You know what? I said that I was gonna watch Notre Dame play today.
They're 13-6.
Yeah, they're playing that. Hook me up, please. They got ball too.
We're up 13-6, and we're gonna see how it's the end of the third quarter. We're going to the fourth. Hey, Mr.
Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, your new women's tag team champions, Nubian Sumo. Take it away.
It was a pretty decent match. You know, it was kind of expected for them to win, as far as I'm concerned. You know, the Unholy Union, they held the belts pretty well. They did all right with them, but you know, I don't with us coming into the new television season and all the switches that are about to get set up here with the new with SmackDown moving to USA in September next month, and NXT moving to CW. You know, they want to put the belts in the right hands, so to speak, and I think it would be better for them to have the belts on Bianca and Jade rather than Isla Dawn and Elba Fire. So it was going to happen. It was bound to happen, and I'm kind of glad to see them get the belts back.
Can I interject?
Of course you can.
Sure.
I mean, what you gonna do?
I think the Bianca Belair and Cade story is leading to something else. Like, we're leading to them having a feud.
Be the worst thing you can do.
No, I think it's the best thing you could do.
Then you won't get this. You don't get Black Girl Magic.
Hear me out. So I think the fact that they are so connected, intertwined and everything, I think we get to a point where one of the two starts resenting the attention the other one gets. This is wrestling 101. This is the best way you break up a tag team. You create tension between the two. You know, you put them against somebody else, and they like accidentally hit the other person by accident, even though it wasn't meant to be. And then the tag team breaks up because then there's the whole jealousy argument that we can play. And then maybe it's not WrestleMania, but like maybe it's SummerSlam next year where we're paying this off. Like this isn't like a 3 month, 6 month. This is a 6 to 12 month kind of plan. So they're tag team champions for now, but once we get Kay Cargill into a better space where she's a better wrestler, then we can wean her off of the tag team because her mic skills are decent enough, but her in-ring work isn't good enough. And we get her to a point where we're like, both of those things match up. And now we can she's down good enough, and now we can put her on her own. Because that's really all we're doing with Kay Cargill right now, is we're putting her in a place where we can make her survive until she can get to a point where she can walk on her own. And if I'm lying, y'all just tell me. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
I don't like it.
It is eventually going to happen. And it's going to happen pretty much the way that you said it will. Like you said, they're just trying to get Jade to the point where she can manipulate the WWE style of wrestling
exactly
on her own, because she wasn't really trained well in AEW.
No,
they gave her the Goldberg push,
and
gave her just enough to get by, and now she's actually learning how to become a professional wrestler within WWE under that style.
Yes,
so.
Sir.
Yeah, it's eventually going to happen. I don't see it happening anytime soon because Jade is still trying to learn. She's under the learning tree, so to speak, still. So we're gonna continue to get Jade and Bianca together. We're gonna continue to have Black Girl Magic for a while.
Yeah.
But eventually, like you said, it's going to get to the point where one of them is going to turn on the other.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping and I'm praying that Bianca is the one that turns heel.
You know what? And I'm on the other side of that spectrum. I think I want Jade to be the turn because she's the one that feels neglected. She feels like, Bianca's always been in the spotlight, and she's held her back because she was the next up and coming thing, and Bianca didn't give her enough light to shine.
I'm looking at it the other way around. I'm looking at it as you've been riding my coattails this whole time.
Ooh, I like that too.
And now I've gotten you to this point where you become a champion. You're getting all this money, you're getting all this attention, and now you think you better than me?
But all right, let's ask this question. Who makes the better heel? Bianca or Jade?
Bianca.
I think Jade lives better in a heel world.
She does, but it's expected.
And I think
she's pretty much been a heel up until her WWE run. She was a heel the whole time she was in AEW.
But the other reason I think is better because, and I don't like this guy, but her husband is Brandon Phillips, and he can talk her or help her talk her way into a good heel situation. Just like he did with her in AEW. And Brandon Phillips is a shortstop that played for the Cleveland Indians and ended up with the Cincinnati Reds. And yeah.
Yeah, but see, we haven't seen Bianca being a heel since NXT. And
I just
it's
want to
been
hear her tell somebody you don't even go here.
right. Yeah.
I just want to hear her tell somebody you don't even go here.
Okay. We'll see.
So,
we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, it's gonna, like you said, it's going to happen. It's
And
not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when.
I love them embracing that. Like we're going to massage this enough till we get to the right point.
Because it's already in the works.
Right. You can even see it. Like this.
You notice now in their entrance.
Yeah.
They're coming out separately now. They're not. Jade is coming out. No. Think about it. When they came out, Jade would come out first. She'd wait for Bianca, and then they'd go down the aisle together. Now, Jade is coming out and going all the way to the ring before Bianca even starts her music.
I gotta watch that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, you got it's slight. It's slight, but it's there. You know, they started doing this a while ago. You know, so I mean, and you see little nuances, you know, of them, you know, going at each other a little bit. You know, it's not really noticeable unless you look for it. But there are little nuances of them kind of getting at each other. But they don't want to overplay it. They want to kind of do a slow burn until they actually pull the trigger. But it's there. The signs are there. The signs are there.
Okay. As long as you see it and I see it, and like, yeah, I'm not crazy.
Well, I know one thing for sure, two things for certain. I can do something right now that'll put a smile on the Nubian Sumo's face.
Uh-oh.
Here she goes. I knew it.
Yeah.
You can never go wrong with Lee Jackson.
Never.
The next up, you had the undisputed WWE Championship match, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Cody Rhodes retains. Xavier sitting here is one of the biggest Cody Rhodes fans. Like, I call him and mess with him. I was messing with him yesterday about Cody Rhodes. He got upset and threw the phone down. So better not talk bad about Cody Rhodes. I think, you know, if you talk bad about Cody Rhodes, I think that's the equivalent of talking about a black person's pastor. Don't you be talking about my pastor. You know, that's what that is. You can't talk bad about Cody Rhodes. I think he is over. I think he is quite possibly the top face. And I don't know if you've seen it or not, Sumo, but at the end of the pay-per-view, he did he was at the podium and he was talking about the business and how Triple H wasn't there. And he was just speaking from a point of not a performer, but as the point of a boss.
Yeah, I saw it. But you have to remember, he was doing that for AEW.
Exactly.
Right.
Because he was the boss he was a boss at AEW. So I mean, it's not something he's done before. It's not something he can't do. You know, so I mean, yeah, I can see him doing that.
Next up was the strap match. CM Punk versus.
Before you go beyond this, I think the whole Cody Rhodes thing is like we're working this as a fan favorite, and I think we might have something in the cachet of KO, like maybe even becoming a heel, because you know he went for the title. And he kind of like the friendship, the whole thing. But maybe we have a story or a secondary story that gets us to the next pay-per-view that isn't a main pay-per-view. And we can work that for the next couple weeks.
I think that's your next big feud. I can see that. trap match, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. CM Punk wins. Let's just put it out there. Rate that sharpshooter that CM Punk used on Drew McIntyre.
It's better than the Rock's.
I do this because I know where he's going to go. Next up, the mixed tag match. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest versus Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest win that. Couple of moments in that match that was pretty good. I seen somebody on Twitter said Rhea Ripley always on top.
I don't mind her being on top.
Not at all. And then you have the particular instance where she grabbed Liv Morgan by her hair, pulled her head back, and licked the side of her face. I don't think there was a hotter moment on WWE programming than that right then and there. Let's just say I think that's probably the most replayed portion of Bash in Berlin. Gee.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Which one was better? The Rhea Ripley lick or the Rhea Ripley pin?
Shit. Do I got to choose one? I mean, I just want to be involved.
Because you know it's coming to the point where they're going to give that pin a name.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she pins everybody. If she pins everybody the same exact way. I mean, and they talk and even in the post match show, in the post show, when they interviewed Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, they asked her, "What do you call that pin?" I forget what she called it, but I'm sure they're gonna put a name on that pin at some point.
Never mind. It's a family show. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a family show.
Hey guys, I gotta jump out. I know it's a family show, so I catch you guys. KG, I catch you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Nubia Sumo, I'll catch you next week. Love you guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Sam says Rhea low-key a bushwhacker. She might be. Next up was your main event, World Heavyweight Championship, Randy Orton versus Gunther. And Gunther defeated Orton to retain his title. The pop was great. And it was over the top. I mean, it was a good match altogether. I think the crowd loved it. And the crowd being there and being as amped as they were, if we would have did picks, I wouldn't have had Gunther losing this. He's German. You're in Berlin. Come on. He's not losing this. This is like Mansoor winning at Crown Jewel. So, your thoughts on this?
Oh yeah, I mean, he was almost the babyface in this match. I mean, he kept the heel persona, but he was almost the babyface in this match, just because he was from Austria, which is not quite Germany, but still, he's adopted Berlin as his home, especially when he was in the independents. So I mean, yeah. They love him. They love him in Germany. That's like Damian Priest being in Puerto Rico, or something like that. So yeah, he was gonna get the Duke over on that. There was no way Randy Orton was gonna beat him in this match. I mean, they were gonna have a good match, but it wasn't gonna. It would have probably been a riot if Gunther had lost that belt that day. So
I agree.
Yeah, that was expected.
Now
going back to I want to go back to the Kevin Owens um, Cody Rhodes match for a second. Is it just me, or did that match kind of remind you of the Will Ospreay MJF match?
I can see where you're going with that a little bit, but go ahead and elaborate for the folks at home.
You got a reluctant Kevin Owens who didn't want this match in the first place because he didn't think he earned it, right? So he goes into this match and he wants to prove that he's not the same guy as he has been, with the Grayson Waller video and everything. He doesn't want he's trying to convince Cody that he's not that guy with him. Their relationship is different. That he doesn't look at him in the same way that he looks at Sami Zayn. He doesn't look at him the same way as he looked at other guys that he's wrestled. So, he goes into this match. He's reluctant up front. He doesn't want to do. You never saw the pop-up powerbomb. He wouldn't pull the trigger on the apron powerbomb. You didn't see him do what is it? The flip into the corner. What do they call it?
I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head, but I know what you're talking about.
Right now, but he didn't do that. A lot of the stuff that a lot of his move set that he usually uses, he didn't use. Just like Will Ospreay was reluctant in using the Tiger Driver 91 on MJF until the very end. And so now you have Cody Rhodes winning. Cody Rhodes ain't got no problem using the crossroads. He ain't got no problem using the disaster kick, his usual moveset. He winds up beating Kevin Owens. And now you got Kevin Owens distraught, like, I couldn't do everything I wanted to do in this match. I couldn't do it to him. What am I doing here? Why am I here? Is this a one-off? Or is this something that's going to lead to something else? Y'all are saying that it could be a series. I'm thinking that this is just a seat filler. That Cody Rhodes is gonna go. Cody Rhodes is like, look, you've done me a lot of favors. I'm returning the favor for you by giving you a title shot that you haven't had in 8 years. You feel like you're not deserving, but I think you are, just because you've done all these things for me. I think his next match is with Randy Orton. He's going to do Randy Orton the same way. He's going to give Randy Orton the shot to repay him for his loyalty.
Okay.
And this is all just filler, kind of stretch things out a little bit until they get the Roman Reigns solo bloodline situation rolling. And then they can come back and bring them back together.
All right, we running close to the end, so we got to get this done before we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, your champion has something to say. That's just Nubian.
I wasn't expecting that.
Well, I had to put you over, so I had to do it.
Yeah, I know. I just, I wasn't looking for that, but thank you anyway. Okay, well, it has been a while since I've done one, and there's a lot of things that have happened that I haven't brought up on the show. So we want to give flowers to Zack Sabre Jr. for being the second uh, Gaijin or foreigner to win the G1 Climax tournament, which makes him now the number one contender for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Now, he is going a different route than tradition. Back about 10, 12 years ago, when Kazuchika Okada won his first G1, he was the one who started the tradition of waiting until the Wrestle Kingdom and cashing in his G1 win to be the main event at Wrestle Kingdom for the world title, for the then IWGP Heavyweight Championship. So now he's going against the grain, and he has a plan that he wants to pull off. He wants to cash in his G1 win at King of Pro Wrestling, the King of Pro Wrestling event that's going to happen on October 14th. So he's going to cash in, and he's going against Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Then he wants to wait a couple of weeks and win the title and have his first defense at Royal Quest at the end of October, which is going to be in London. So, and then retain his title and then go on to Wrestle Kingdom to defend his title at Wrestle Kingdom. The reason he wants to do this is because he enjoys wrestling in Ryogoku Sumo Hall. And because he has such a rapport with that city and that venue, that he wants to have his first shot at the title in Ryogoku. So he's going to have his title shot at Ryogoku on the 14th of October. He's going to win. He wants to win the title, have his first title defense at Royal Quest 2 weeks later, and then retain and go on to Wrestle Kingdom to defend his title in the main event at Wrestle Kingdom. So it's different from usual. It goes against the grain. It goes against tradition, but I'm liking it, because he would have to wrestle anyway to defend the right to challenge. Why not just go ahead and cash in early and get his title shot? So we're gonna see what happens with that, and hopefully I want to see him actually win it, because he's looking like he's on the tail end of his career. He's looking like he's trying to maybe settle down or maybe get out of Japan and go somewhere else, maybe to a AEW or somewhere else. So we'll see what happens with that, how that turns out. Now, back on the 25th, you had, the 24th and the 25th, you had your last matches in Marigold for Julia. Julia, who is signed with the WWE and has had a commitment with Rossi Ogawa, who is the owner of Marigold. She said that she wanted to help him with his new organization, so she wanted to. She had a commitment to him that she wanted to fulfill before she came to WWE. So she had her last singles match on the 24th. And then on the 25th, she wound up having a gauntlet match. Now, the gauntlet match was where every member of Marigold, every wrestler in Marigold, got 1 minute to be in the ring with her to try to pin her. Now, it was about 15 different wrestlers that wound up getting in the ring with her. And out of those, she won all of them. She went time limit. She won all of them except for one. She got pinned one time. And this was a young girl. I don't know her name. I didn't get her name. But she was one of the younger wrestlers on the roster. And I think this is the one that she wanted to kind of pass the torch to. So she wound up getting the one pin over her. Everything else was either Julia pinning them or going to a time limit. Now, there was one young lady that was in there. Her name is, she goes by the name of Bozilla. She's a German born. About 205 pounds. Big girl, tall girl. She stood over everybody in Marigold. And she's muscular. I mean, imagine Camille, a cross between Camille and like Awesome Kong. She's just muscular. She's just big. And it's now come out that Bozilla is being looked at by the WWE to bring her in as well. Now, this didn't come out until after the show, but I noticed that at the end of the show, when Julia was giving her speech and she was hugging everybody and recognizing everybody and getting accolades and whatnot, that she did pull Bozilla aside and start talking to her. And of course, it was in Japanese, so I don't know what they were saying to each other. But it did seem like it was kind of like a conversation, like, yeah, just when you get to WWE, just make sure you find me. You know what I'm saying? We'll take care, we'll help take care of each other. Now, it is coming to fruition that Julie is coming because you've had these backstage interviews on NXT, especially with the one that went down with Roxanne Perez and Jada Parker, where Jada Parker slapped Roxanne Perez into next year. I mean, that was a slap for the century right there. I mean, that was on some Roddy Piper hitting Superfly Jimmy Snuka with the coconut type stuff. I mean, it was crazy. It was that was a shoot slap the taste out of her mouth, and then she turns off camera and looking like toward the behind the camera. It's like, yeah, I see you over there. I've heard a lot about you. Yeah, I'm waiting. And then there was another one similar to that where there's like, yeah, I know, I've heard about you. I know who you are. Yeah, we're just waiting. So the seeds are being planted of her coming into NXT, and it's long overdue. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, you also have JBL. We talked about JBL on the television show. He's going around and he's making his rounds in the independent scene. He's been in GCW, and he wrecked shop in GCW. He went to Triple A's the Triple Mania show, and was in the corner of Nick Nemeth when he lost the belt to Alberto El Patron. And now recently he was at the TNA Emergence show, coming into the ring after Nick Nemeth retained the TNA World Championship and whispered something into Nemeth's ear and walked out. So, like we were saying, we were talking about this on the television show earlier. Is this JBL trying to get back into the wrestling business in the independents? Is this JBL helping Shane McMahon to build a faction, to form an invasion against AEW? What's going on with that? We don't know. We have no clue as to what's going on with that right now. So we just got to see what's going on with that. Now, I did mention Triple Mania earlier. They did have their second show. I believe they have another third show for Triple Mania coming up in October. But this was the one that was in Mexico City. And the main event, like I said, was Nick Nemeth versus Alberto El Patron for the AAA Mega Championship, which Nick Nemeth held coming into the match. And Alberto El Patron wound up winning that match. Now, at the end of the match, you had the guy who is one of the guys who's running AAA, who wound up coming out with Conan, and then JBL comes in and shakes hands with Conan and the executive and Nick Nemeth. So now the four of them are together, forming a faction within AAA. Conan is former WWE. Is he going to be a part of this as well? And it has come out now that JBL has put money into AAA to the point where he is like a partner, a financial partner with AAA now. So you're probably going to see a lot more of JBL in AAA, being that he's now invested in the company. So we're going to see how that goes. Now, you also recently had the 12th anniversary of Revolution Pro Wrestling, which is the organization where that Will Ospreay came from, mainly. They had a show recently for their 12th anniversary, and a lot of things went down on that, where Michael Oku, who was the Rev Pro undisputed British heavyweight champion coming in, wound up losing his title to a gentleman by the name of Luke Jacobs, who is a mainstay heel within the organization. Now, this match is significant because Michael Oku is being looked at to leave Rev Pro Wrestling and maybe go to AEW, even though WWE is looking at him also. Now, Oku was on the pre-show for All In. No, excuse me. He was on the pre-show for the Dynamite that they did before All In. He wasn't on the All In card, but it's looking like Oku could be coming in, and Oku is a protege of Will Ospreay. So we can see when it comes to the Ricochet conversation that we had on the television show, that could be a potential matchup for Ricochet as well. So and Michael Oku and Will Ospreay have had some classics before Will Ospreay wound up signing with AEW, he had a classic match with Michael Oku, where Oku defended the British Heavyweight Championship against Will Ospreay and wound up winning. So when Oku is nice. He's real nice. I mean, he's like young Swerve, independent Swerve, when it comes to talent. So Michael Oku is a good looking young man when it comes to wrestling, when it comes to his wrestling skills. So we're gonna see what happens with him. Now, also another interesting point during this show was for the British Undisputed Women's Championship. Danny Luna, who was the champion, wound up losing her match to Mina Shirakawa. This is the same Mina Shirakawa that is friends with Myra May in AEW and befriended Tony Storm, where you thought the three of them were going to be together at one point, but it wound up, not happening with the betrayal of Myra May. But Mina Shirakawa was the one who took that match that was supposed to be Stephanie Vacour before she signed with WWE. They were going to put the belt on Stephanie Vacour. But now you have Mina Shirakawa taking that title now. So it's already been recognized by the AEW. And I believe Mina has already signed a contract with AEW, putting her in AEW as opposed to wrestling with Stardom, where she came from. So we'll have to see what goes on with that. How they treat the Rev Pro Championship within AEW. Well, are they going to let her defend it? She has another title. I'm not sure what title that is. I want to say it's maybe ICW, but I can't really tell what that belt is. But we'll see how much recognition, other than just mentioning the title, that Mina Shirakawa gets. We were talking about Gabe Kidd earlier, and Gabe Kidd had a match against Donovan Dijak, who Donovan Dijak has been making his rounds around the independent scene. So we're gonna see how it goes with Donovan Dijak. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Hechicero. Hechicero being like they call him the alchemist when it comes to Mexican wrestling. Like he's supposed to be this submission technical wrestling savant that has trained a lot of different wrestlers and whatnot in that style. So the AEW has been using him a lot, and so we're gonna see where that goes and how AEW used Zack Sabre Jr., especially now that he is going for the World Championship in New Japan. Now, like I said, there were a lot of things that went on within that if you want to watch it, you can watch the replay of that. But it'll be a worthy show to watch between that and TNA Emergence. The last two shows of Marigold with Julia will be worth watching as well. Capital Collision with New Japan is going on right now. If it hasn't ended already, it's been going on while we've been on the air, and I can see that they have some updates here. I'll go into some of them with you, so we can end this show. You had a three-way match where the winner gets a shot at the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Championships, where Tomohiro Ishii and Hiroshi Tanahashi wound up beating the grizzled young veterans and two members of TDMK, Bad Dude Tito, who is the national openweight champion for MLW, and Robbie Eagles. You had Kevin Knight, Rocky Romero, and Yoshihashi defeating the Bullet Club. David Finlay, Drilla Maloney, and Clark Connors. For the open weight tag team championships, TDMK, Shane Haste, and Mikey Nichols, who are also the IWGP World Tag Team Champions, wound up defeating Hechicero and Virus, spelled virus. Hiromu Takahashi, who is with Los Ingobernables de Japón, wound up beating Mustafa Ali, who has recently left TNA. So we're not sure as where he's going to land, but I'm sure he's going to go on the independent scene and go all over trying to build his name up. The New Japan Strong Openweight Championship was on the line. Gabriel Kidd, champion, defeated Leo Rush in this defense. And then the New Japan Strong Women's Champion, Mercedes Moné, wound up beating Momo Watanabe in the main event of that show. So that just happened. That just ended earlier, well, like maybe a few minutes ago, like 11 o'clock. So you can get the pre-show of that, the replay of that if you want to watch that. There are some other matches within this card that are interesting, like Tetsuya Naito versus TJP, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Teton, Fred Rosser and Tom Lawler versus the West Coast Wrecking Crew, of which West Coast Wrecking Crew was part of Team Filthy with Tom Lawler at one time. And Mina Shirakawa and Hanako wound up in a match with Trisha Dora and Viva Van. Viva Van being a mainstay within the independent scene. She's got 5 different titles in 4 organizations right now. So Viva Van is somebody to be watching in the women's division. But yeah, that's pretty much it for right now. I know there's a lot, but we're gonna see what happens in October with the King of Pro Wrestling show. How Marigold is going to do without Julia being a part of that organization. How Julia does in NXT when she finally shows up. She'll probably show up tomorrow night because they have NXT has a premium live event tomorrow night. So we'll be able to see if Julia shows up for that show. We also see if Stephanie Vacour winds up showing up as well. So we'll see what happens there. So KG, you got anything for me?
No, I gotta say that's probably, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to, as you're talking, I'm trying to read and trying to type in names as you're reading. That's why you see me looking down. I'm like this. I'm here. Because I'm like, okay, wow, she is a big girl. I'm trying to get images and stuff together. I'm trying to be, see, it's easier when you got a 3-man booth because I can go do producer things. But whew, you said a lot. You said a mouthful. I probably have some questions for you coming up next week. But as for this week, we got to put the brakes on this. We've come to the end of the ride of the mothership. So get out of here so we can be able to send this over. But that's the Nubian Sumo. I'm the big guy, KG. Thanks to the Midnight Rider for joining us tonight. We can do this now. Diversify your bonds.
Konnichiwa, bitches.